Yo, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's going on with y'all, man? What's happening? What's good? If you've been rocking with me, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We got a very special one for you today. It's gonna be the first of maybe many, I don't know. But today we're doing something a little different, something we haven't done here before. Gonna do a little bit of an album review for y'all, an album review. Wink, wink. Guess who it is? So before we even get started, well, we're gonna go ahead and do the album review for The Big Day by Chance the Rapper. It's his first studio album that dropped. Obviously, he does have more music out. He's been around for a minute, but up to Coloring Book, really, all of those technically qualify as mixtapes. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, up until Coloring Book dropped and broke the world, mixtapes weren't eligible for Grammy nominations, was the biggest discrepancy. Mixtapes you can get for free also, as opposed to albums which are typically sold in stores or now streamed online because it's 2019. Not to say that mixtapes weren't streamed online, but again, usually pretty free to stream. Go to like a datpiff.com, Soundcloud, whatever, what have you. Shout out to Soundcloud listenership. And you can just go ahead and listen to that. But this album actually came out on Spotify first, as far as I know. That was who you had to deal with. I know you had the Spotify listening release party up in the Chi the day before. I know he had said, some stuff about, it's going to drop at midnight. Ain't nothing drop at midnight. I was one of those sad people staying up waiting for this to drop. I was so hyped, y'all. I had all three of the mixtapes playing through all day, listening to all the features. Outside of that, I was ready. And then it didn't come until noon the next day, which kind of messed up my whole flow. But whatever. It did come. So I listened to it, got some thoughts. Before I hit this download on y'all, let y'all know what I thought of the album. A couple things you'll need to know, just in fairness. All right, I love Chance the Rapper. Been a huge fan of Chance the Rapper for the longest time. I actually was late coming into 10 Day. I didn't know nothing about 10 Day until after Ask the Rapper came out, and I heard that. Then I went back and got caught up with that. But I've loved everything. This man's put out really 10 Day, Coloring Book, both fantastic. Definitely it's in my top mixtapes albums of all time. Coloring Book blew me away. I remember the day listening to that with the homies, listening to it straight up and down. I mean, it slapped. It still slaps to this day. So understand, like, when I am critiquing this, when I'm giving my thoughts, it's all coming from a place of love. Like, been rocking with Chance for a minute. Like, feel like we've been on the same wavelengths in a lot of ways. He likes a lot of the same stuff I do. Are basically the same age, more or less. I mean, there's just so much to like. A lot of people were criticizing him for going the gospel route on the last album. I disagree. Right? I thought that man was killing it with the gospel flow, especially at Kanye on production. I mean, it just made sense. So a lot of people were concerned. They said, "Oh well, it's gonna be, it's just gonna be a straight up gospel album next album that comes out," and that's not quite what this was. That's kind of what I assumed too. The man that got married. Families all together now. All the strife and that seems to be behind him. He's grown up a lot, so I assumed there's gonna be an album made by somebody who maybe didn't have those same demons that were haunting him and spurning forth that beautiful art that we've had up to this point. So let's jump in. Let's see what we have here. Actually, before I jump into the album, gotta roast Spotify here for a minute, or whoever was in charge of this decision, because listening to the album, you get the experience and all that, but I want to know who is that person. If I don't recognize their voice right away, but you go to the Spotify list where it dropped and don't got none of the features listed. Had to go out to Complex News to figure out who was featured on the song. Man, that's crazy. Spotify, get it together. And if that was you, Chance, all right, come on now. Come on, bro. I'm not trying to do no research. I should be able to look, if I'm paying for the service that shows it on every other album on the platform and gives me the features, why do I have to go somewhere else to look for your features? Just a thought. One of the first thoughts that I had when I put it on, I'm like, is that John Legend on the beat? And I look at the track and it's like, no, it just says Chance the Rapper. I was like, oh, okay, I guess Chance done really grew a lot. But yeah, that's enough of that spite, little spurn, little something. But let's get into the track list here. First track we got, All Day Long, featuring John Legend, and strong start to the album. Strong start. This was some heat. Definitely a bop with that house music feel. You got John Legend hollering over the top on the chorus parts. Man, I was excited. I was like, this is how Chance starts his album. Always high energy. And Coloring Book, the opening track, we didn't really get that super high energy until track 2 with No Problem. But it did still have a lot of energy here. So all day long, definitely great. Honestly, I think Chance needs to really look into doing house music a little bit more full time, because he's got something here. There's not a whole lot of people out there in the game doing house music that's like blown up like this, and he's really got something with his style and how everything comes together with him. So definitely, I was definitely all about this. Now that being said, this should have been the first cue that this was about to be some dad rap album. All right, we got the house music playing. I'm getting flashbacks to the late Friday, Saturday nights. You just hear some old house tunes ripping in the basement. You know, your parents drinking, playing spades or whatever. You know, it felt like home. But that's, you know, take that as you will. Take that as you will. Looking at track 2, Do You Remember, featuring Justin Vernon and Ben Gibbard. This was pretty decent. There was a huge drop in the energy from track 1 to track 2, which is kind of jarring. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even the vocals, you know, the vocal inflection, I guess it's Justin Vernon at the front of the track here. Fine vocals, well enough. The inflection's a little heavy on the honky tonk. You know, just kind of the way he's enunciating, especially since we just came from a house turn up on the south side. But, you know, whatever. This is the nostalgia track. This is kind of a look back on the time that he spent since Coloring Book, kind of where he's grown and all of that, his relationship, his family. So, you know, it's a decent song. Nothing to write home about. I wasn't super hype about it. Maybe it's just because of where it's placed on the album and that drop in energy right there. Maybe not. I've listened to the album a couple times here to try to get a good and fair assessment of it. So, hey, that's just me. Track 3, Eternal, featuring Smino. Now, Smino's my man. I've been loving everything he put out. Went and saw him in concert not too long ago, and it was some heat. And this song did not disappoint. All right. This is definitely going to be the stepping song of the summer. It's going to be the song that's going to round us out when we start to transition into those mid-fall nights. Everybody's dancing on the bodega or the patio, you know, y'all at the barbecue. Sun's going down, everybody's stepping, just having a good time. You know, the whole song is about long-term relationships, getting the vibe over having, you know, side niggas and side chicks. You know, this is kind of like, oh, we're done with that. We're not playing that side chick game no more. We're growing up. You know, there's a line in there about side chicks make Kool-Aid with Splenda, and that's some of the realest shit, you know, in the weirdest way. Think about that. Side chicks make Kool-Aid with Splenda. Right. So yeah, Eternal, definitely one of my tops on this album. Loved it. Now, Hot Shower, featuring, was it Maiden TYO and DaBaby? This ain't it, Chief. All right, the beat is bland, the chorus is lackluster, and it isn't actually connected to itself if you're talking lyrically. He almost got me with that little Super Saiyan manga reference in there. You almost got me, Chance. You almost did. I almost let it slide, but I'm not gonna let DaBaby slide on this feature. All right, the flow is alright, whatever, but the content of the verse is so anti everything this album is about. It's just trifling. Like, not even borderline, it is just plain trifling. Over here talking about getting topped off by a Republican's daughter, buying a thotty a hoop deal while he gets a Beamer. Like, didn't we just get done talking about we weren't doing side chicks no more on the track before this? And then this boy had the nerve to make some meta commentary about America making him feel lesser because of his hair. But there's literally no explanation as to why he feels that way other than, cause it's America. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, we got Donald Glover out here. We got people actually out here making art and making music that's pointing out things, discrepancies in the system. You just come in here with that weak sauce. Man, go on somewhere with that. All right, this song should have came out with those singles he was dropping, like Groceries and all that were at most mad decent. There was none of them anything to write home about. None of those singles got me excited for the album. So luckily, I'm as dedicated as a fan as I am. I was like, you know what? Everybody was talking shit. They said, hey, these singles ain't it, bro. I'm like, look, just wait on it. Album is coming. But Hot Shower, no, we could drop that. For all the DaBaby fans out there, I don't even know if I'm saying this brother's name right. But y'all need to reorganize your priorities. For real. All right. Track 5, we got High. Got a line in here talking about, fuck me and one of the ghosts, I'm Go Tanks, right? Now, if y'all don't know, y'all ain't in the know, that's a Dragon Ball reference, Dragon Ball Z, nerdy, right? Again, been rock with them like a lot of the same things. I was feeling that line But Chance, maybe you didn't forget. I don't know if you watched Dragon Ball in a minute. But Gotenks is 100% a joke character. You don't want to be Gotenks over one of the goats like Goku or Vegeta. You've downgraded yourself. All right, maybe Gohan. Just switch up the rhyme a little bit on the back end. But you don't want to be that, my guy. I appreciated the Phineas and Ferb reference in there. Even shouts out to the bald chinnies from that OG Men in Black with Big Willie Styles, right? But there's not a whole lot to say about this song. It's not bad. It's just one of those kind of in your feelings jams. So that I definitely it's gonna be one of those tracks. You thinking about that special someone, they ain't quite lining up right. That's gonna be the go-to, most likely. Track 6, I Got You, Always and Forever, featuring Ari Lennox. Listen. This is the summer of Ari Lennox. If you didn't already know, all right. If y'all missed her on that Revenge of the Dreamers 3, go check that out. That Self-Love. Boy, Ari is killing it, and this song is definitely a bops. Like Chance comes in with the energy, his bars, he's in his element with it. It's a song all about dealing with the opinions of others who tend to butt into your shit, even if they're only just temporary. And then being with that ride or die, that one that's gonna have your back for the long haul. It's very beautiful sentiment. I really appreciate what they're doing here. The overall vibe of the album is a lot like this. Very positive, very uplifting, very, pro monogamy, I guess, in a way, or at the very least being faithful in a relationship. I don't know that it necessarily explicitly says you only have to be in a relationship with one other person, but being faithful in that relationship nonetheless. So yeah, this is definitely a bop. Y'all gonna be hearing this one. All right, shouts to Ari Lennox. Be on the lookout. She's on the come up for sure. All right, next we roll into track 7, the photo op skit featuring John Witherspoon, Granddad. For those of y'all who don't know him by name, but you watch the Boondocks, that's John Witherspoon out there, right? And I really like these skits on here. It actually feels and sounds like a black granddad scolding the family at a function, all right, for acting like some niggas. On the real. I felt guilty just listening to it. I was like, oh, let me get my shit together. Grandpa looking. But it really does fit the family theme that's prevalent throughout the album. John Witherspoon delivers it great, obviously, professional, really sells the part, and it fits really well with the whole theme of the album. Usually, skits are hit or miss for me, but these skits on here, I've got Keith David later on, it really worked. It really worked. So shouts to them for putting this together. Now, track 8, Rue, featuring Coco Rosie and Taylor Bennett. Real quick, speaking of Rue, Chance, where was you at this year? At Bonnaroo. We was in there. We was looking for you. They told me Chance be here all the time. He used to be chilling with the people. He just likes to go to Bonnaroo. That's what he does. So I was like, man, I doubt he gonna be here. He getting married. He got a whole lot of other shit to do, more important than this. Dropping an album coming up soon. So maybe he was busy, but I'm a little disappointed. This song's alright. It's kind of got a weird vibe, not gonna lie. Taylor's verse at the back end, I like the way it's put together. I don't really like the vibe necessarily of the song. It's kind of weird. It kind of feels like some sad boy music, but not quite. Like if you put this in the hands of maybe a Lil Uzi or an artist like that, where they're really gonna take it to that sad place, but it's almost like it was held back based on just the general positive vibe of the album, so it didn't quite get there. So for this one, it's a skip for me. Not terrible, but I'm not about to play it back probably. So let's move on to track 9, The Big Day, featuring Francis and the Lights. This one, trash. I guess it's supposed to be a wedding song. Kind of has a walking down the aisle feel to it, but bruh, Francis and the Lights needs to go on somewhere. I don't know whose idea it was to have those fake ass Phil Collins drums come in to kick off the beat drop at the beginning, but it's a no for me, dog. No. And how are you gonna have bad sounding harmonies on the track when your shtick is electronic music, which by definition can be manipulated to sound like whatever? Come on, Francis. It's amateur hour over here. And then Chance, bruh, what you screaming at me for? I get it. It kind of runs with the idea of we gotta go crazy, to make it work. But no. It's a no for me. Not doing it. Picking up with track 10, we got Let's Go On The Run featuring Knox Fortune. Now this one is actually a bop. Alright, this is definitely one of those records you're gonna throw on a late afternoon cruise with the top down Lakeshore Drive. Let them know. Right, Knox Fortune back at it again, and that's 2 features on 2 Chance records in a row that were certified bops. Right, See All Night from Chance 3, Coloring Book. I really appreciate the actual drum set on this beat. A lot of times, a lot of rap artists, not a lot of them, but the general population of rap artists, they'll default to the drum machines in the studio computer beat. But the drum set really works, especially if you're trying to make a flow that's a little bit more versatile. You want to switch it up, maybe make it go a little bit slower, faster here or there, make it a little bit more smooth here or there. I just appreciate that. So yeah, shouts to y'all for that actual instrumentation out there and how making a good song out of it. Like for real, y'all gonna hear this one. Let's go on the run. All right. Let's see, Handsome, track 11, featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Heat. All right, this is definitely one of those flex, feel-good songs when you about to leave the house and your fists are on point. You know what I'm talking about? You got to go back to the mirror, take a look at yourself a second time, like, god damn. But let me take a second here. I wanna salute Megan Thee Stallion. All right, Megan Thee Stallion. All right, I've been hearing her name pop up more and more lately, but I hadn't actually listened to her stuff like that. Like I hadn't actually went to go check out any of her albums, and I need to. I'm definitely going to now. Right? She got a mean flow. It kind of reminds me of like old Trina or even a Remy Ma with the intensity, but like she can pull it back to pull off a much sweeter tone on here. Like when she goes from talking about licking balls and sliding, all this, but then she slides into the chorus with this real innocent tone. But she's still talking about the same type of shit. She's still talking about niggas eating pussy and this, that, and the other. But it's her inflection. It's just really believable that she can switch it on. It's not like the Nicki Minaj where she does like the innocent quote unquote, little kind of schoolgirl high pitched tone. No, this one it sounds like a genuine but more innocent tone when she got to switch it back to it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does, because she's got some bars. She's got some versatility in there, which is about to change the whole game up. All right, Cardi, Nicki, y'all watch out. Are y'all sleeping on her? She gonna come up out of nowhere and take both of y'all out. No disrespect. Side note, I gotta point this out. I love it when female rappers hit those boss bitch sex bars. You know what I'm talking about? Like with Cardi on Motorsport. Talking about I love when he go on tour because he comes more when I see him less. And they get real nasty in their sex talk. I love that shit because it always makes dudes so uncomfortable. They won't bat an eye when 21 talks about pulling the rubber off and putting hot sauce on some titties. But if a female rapper's over here talking about, come eat this pussy like blah blah blah, then all of a sudden they got a problem with like, ugh, why she so nasty? Like, y'all need to chill on that. Y'all need to chill. All right. But hey, again, Megan Thee Stallion, be on the lookout for her. She really out here. All right, let's get into track 12, Big Fish, featuring Gucci Mane. Now, disclaimer, full disclosure, I did not even know Gucci was on this track the first time I listened to his mug. I think I was still ignoring him after that set that he played at Bonnaroo, where his hype man was outperforming him. But also because he rapped half a verse and then lazily talked over the latter half like we wouldn't notice. But we noticed, Gucci. We notice. Burr. But I do like this song, all things considered. That'd be kind of hard with the ominous motif on the keyboard in the back. I like the point that Chance is trying to make in the verse where he chastises the industry for promoting music that's less than wholesome as opposed to the ratchetivity that prevails on the charts these days. Kind of let them know, hey, you guys promote, all your executives, you're all married, you got families. So why aren't you promoting that kind of lifestyle? Why are you just mainly promoting this infidelity and all this other gang shit? You know what I mean? So hey, shout out to Chance for pointing that out because it's very true. Song number 13, track 13, Ballin' Flossin', featuring Shawn Mendes. Now, this is definitely a birthday bounce. The house music back at it again. Like I said, Chance needs to go ahead and drop a whole mixtape of house music. I know he already has it in the vault somewhere. I know you do. This isn't the first time you've been playing around with this for a couple years now. I know you got it chilling, waiting to come out at the right time. So, hey, just go ahead and drop it. But my initial thought, listening to this, when I heard that voice come in for the vocals, I thought it was Ed Sheeran. Real talk, I was like, Ed Sheeran on the beat. Turns out no, it's not Ed Sheeran. It's Shawn Mendes, who I had never heard of before and have no desire to look up based on this performance. I do like the song. His vocals were just kind of, it could have been anybody. Insert generic whoever here. No disrespect to Ed Sheeran, but it was okay, Shawn. I mean, you're not bad. It just wasn't nothing that was like, hey, I gotta check out. You know Ari Lennox, all right, on the vocals. But hey, I would have cut it after that bounce section he has in the back instead of going back to the refrain of the chorus. But I guess that's house formula, so you do what you gotta do. All right, 4 quarters in the back, or I'm sorry, 4 quarters in the black. All right, that's track 14, the skit. That's the one featuring Keith David. All right, I love Keith David, one of the legendary voices of our time. Again, y'all know how I feel about these skits. I think it's great how they meld that family aspect with it. Keith David does a good job of playing the grandpa. So yeah, moving on. Track 15, 5-Year Plan. Now this one, 5-Year Plan. This one kind of sounds like the Arthur theme song a little bit, doesn't it? Which he did do a cover of. Y'all go look it up. And it's actually pretty good. But this one did remind me a lot of that Arthur theme song. You know, it's very positive and uplifting. You know, promotes financial responsibility and personal accountability and all that. But the song's still a no for me. It's a no for me, dog. That middle part, where you have that time has come. Though it's just not it, Chief. It's not. So I'm just not feeling the 5-Year Plan. Maybe when I'm feeling a little bit more fiscally responsible, I'll vibe with this song. But as of right now, nah, not for me. Getting into track number 16, Get a Bag, featuring Cowboy. Sounds like I said cowboy. No, Calboy. I assume it's short for California. Never heard of him. Why does this song sounds like it belongs on the Disney Channel original movie, low key? Like I don't have anything to say about this one. It's so aggressively decent that I will probably skip it without thinking, unless someone's like, "Hey, put that song back on. That's my beat." I mean, you know, I did think that Cowboy reminded me a little bit of the Lil Yachty flow when he first jumped on the track, but then he definitely has far superior vocals when it comes to actually singing than Lil Yachty does. You know, no disrespect to Lil Yachty, but I mean, calling a spade a spade. So yeah, decent, mad decent. Yeah, meh. Track 17, Slide Around, featuring Nicki Minaj and Lil Durk. Now, Nicki Minaj is probably the most random feature on this whole project. So random, in fact, that he had to bring her on twice to confirm that no, you did not hear that incorrectly. It is actually Nicki Minaj on the beat. All right, this song is kind of a vibe. I'll give it that. But that's about it. I mean, everyone on the track is flowing, and it all fits real nice. I just wasn't too excited about the song. Once again, I do have to point out that the content from the feature, in this case Lil Durk, does not match the tone that the album presents. All right, you got parts in the verse talking about fuck a bitch while she bleed. All right, that's pretty fucking vulgar, Lil Durk, on an album that's supposed to be about getting the family together and all this. You got house music and Jesus talk. You talking about getting your Red Wings? Come on, bro, get it together. It's like he just sent them in a verse and Chance was like, he's hot right now. I'll go ahead and put it on there. But I'm tired of artists doing that. If y'all gonna collaborate on the track, at least feign to attempt to have some type of cohesive unit, all right? But Lil Durk, the baby, y'all in it, Chief. All right, get it together. It's just lazy. Anybody can write a track just saying some gross out, ratchet shit that rhymes, all right? At least try to get with the project a little bit. That's just me. So that's another no for me on that one. Mainly Lil Durk killed it in the bad way for me, but hey, it is what it is. Nicki Minaj, like I said, she's all right. It's just kind of random. Number 18, track 18, Sun Come Down. You know, the song is sweet. It's a sweet song. It's a song about him and his wife and how much he loves her and how much they'll always be there to support each other in spite of the haters, which is a great message. You know, a lot of people get so caught up in the comment section these days, they forget the people around them is actually holding them down. So I do like that. You know, he also makes a comment looking forward to his death, which is kind of a sombering moment, but, you know, responsible. He's on that responsible tip now. He doesn't want it to be a solemn mourning. You know, he wants it to be more of a celebration of life. You know, New Orleans funeral type of thing. And I respect that. I like that. It's a very real record, this whole thing, that was made explicitly for his wife. Kind of like Jay-Z did, you know, 444, him and Beyonce with that music that they had. You know, it was good music they were putting out, but it was definitely songs that were directly aimed at the other one. You know what I mean? So I appreciate Chance doing that, you know, so it was good. You know, people try to get on Chance to go, how you going to be doing this dad rap, blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, you know, artists grow. You know, there's growth, and sometimes growth for the better, sometimes it's not so much. But this one, I really like what they were doing with that. It was sweet. Now, y'all better watch these studios after Chance passed. Knock on wood, that no bad luck. But y'all better watch these studios. I'm not trying to see them disrespect him like they did Prince at the Super Bowl, even though he asked not to come back as a hologram projection, whatever. And Justin Timberlake brought him back anyway. All right, biting off the culture again. But yeah, Chance said no holograms, none of that. So hey, Chance's estate, y'all get them contracts signed out. I know what y'all signed with Spotify to drop this album, but you need to read that fine print, or they're gonna hold him out too, 100%. All right, getting into track 19, Found a Good One, or Single No Mo, featuring Murder Beats. All right, this one's kind of a bop. But with a big ass asterisk. All right, let me explain. This beat does work for the most part. I can definitely see the song being played at the clubs from the south side at this very moment. But I personally am single as fuck, so it's a no for me. The bias, but hey, I mean, like, oh, nothing real, it's a pretty decent song. But I mean, again, I guess it really plays into the whole idea. I'm glad Chance is happy. I'm glad he done found the one for him and all that. I guess I'm just missing the vibe. We were connected for the first 3 tapes, and then somewhere in 2016, 2017, he found Jesus, and our lives took a drastic departure from each other. But maybe not for me. Could be for you. Go ahead, make up your own mind about that one. Track 20, Town on the Hill. I'm actually gonna go ahead and say trash for this one. Yep, certified trash. I don't really know what he was thinking on this one. His voice and his vocals are fine, honestly, but it's like if, say, Blessings, or Same Drugs were produced by Francis and the Lights. Like, yeah, Chance might sound good at parts, but overall it's gonna be trash. So it's a no for me on that. The Our House skit, yep, definitely sounds like an auntie at a family function. Served the purpose right. And hold up, is that Susie Carmichael ass as the child? I can't tell because no one bothered to put up the credits for this song. So I guess we just have to use our imagination. But she sure do sound like Susie Carmichael. Y'all go check it out. And if anybody knows who it actually is for the vocals on that one, let me know, because I definitely want to check that out and verify. And then the last track is There Anything Fools, track 22, again featuring Nicki Minaj. This track is also not labeled because there is somebody else that does the beginning, that does vocals on the beginning, that's just not credited. So okay, I guess. Shouts to them, because that was pretty decent. The tribal beat that drops into the song is hype, but the way that the chord progression begins is way too dissonant to start for me. It kind of confuses the vibe of the song a little bit. I'm not really sure why they decided to go that way. Chance's verses on here were fine. I definitely dig the second verse where he takes shots at the system. Still oppresses black people while simultaneously signaling like, oh, they're the black president. It's way better than it used to be. Nobody's racist anymore. You're the black president. Yeah, we've heard it before. We've been hearing it since 2008. But hey, so shouts to him for that little smart ditty. And Nicki's verse was fine. I was definitely getting some Pink Friday vibes from her on this track, based on the flow, the beat, all that they had going together. And Pink Friday is one of my favorite projects from her. So like, I was all about it. Now, real quick, maybe I missed something, but I didn't realize that Nicki was in that long-term committed relationship now. Right, last I heard from her, she was beefing with Cardi B and all this other stuff. I didn't know she was like also growing up, but I guess people grow up, whatever. So if that is the case, shouts to Nicki for finding your happiness. All right, live your best life, girl. Live your best life. But yeah, it's still something weird about this collaboration with Chance and Nicki. Like, their styles are compatible, on the beat at the shows, 2 tracks. But their personas are really nothing alike. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's definitely been a lot more kind of superficial, not necessarily in a bad way, but just in kind of some of the way that she promotes some of the stuff, whereas he's been on a more genuine tip. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. She was beefing with Cardi and twerking on stage. Chance was finding Jesus. But somehow they both made their way onto the track. So, hey, it is what it is. I don't necessarily like the idea of having another artist be the last voice you hear on your debut album, as she gets the last word and that fade out. So that's kind of weird. Somebody should have been like, bruh, you need to go ahead and put the ad-lib at the end at least. You know what I'm saying? But, whatever. It was alright. It was alright. But yeah, man, that's it. That's the 22 tracks. That's 22 offs, as it were. But I thought the album, you know what? I didn't think it was a bad album. I did have to listen to the album a couple times to really appreciate it. You know, upon first listen, you know, there's definitely some bops that stood out. You know, Eternals definitely stood out for me just on the first listen. Hot Shower stood out as bad on the first listen, and the Big Day. But, you know, like Let's Go on the Run, things like that. The Ari Lennox, I Got You. There were definitely some standout hits, whereas the others I had to kind of grow into a little bit more. Because the song, I mean, the album, the content is definitely a lot more mature. You know, Chance has grown up a lot since the last time we heard from him on, you know, Coloring Book or even Ask the Rapper 10 Day. It's the same guy, you know, he's still having the same references, he's still seeing the world through kind of that same lens. You do get to connect with him. If you've been rocking with Chance for a minute like I have, you do connect with him. Like, I definitely feel this. But again, me personally, you know, I am not single no more. I'm single as fuck. Alright, so, you know, holla at your boy. If you know somebody, let them know. I'm out here. Hit me up, slide into these DMs, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. But yeah, seriously though, very growing up in terms of the music he put out. I think after a little while, maybe I'll get on that page. I'll be able to vibe with it a little bit more than I do now. All in all, probably give this album a 7 out of 10. And maybe I'm biased, being a little bit generous. Maybe it's more like a 6.5. Definitely my least favorite of the album's mixtapes that he's put out, for sure. But that's not to say that it was a bad album. I think, you know, upon re-listening to it a couple more times, you know, it's kind of one of those albums you got to sit with a little bit. You got to appreciate the vibe that he's going for and kind of get that in your head. You know, I think a lot of people, when they hear a new album from an artist, they're expecting more of the old, which to a certain degree, you do kind of get that. A lot of times artists, they grow and they change, all right? That Awaken My Love, the Gambino drop, was a total turn from where he was because of the internet. And I had listened to that more than once. First time I listened to it, I was like, this is decent. But then after I got over the fact that he wasn't going to be no bars and it was a totally different type of album, I really enjoyed it. And I think the same can be said about this one. So if you haven't listened to the album yet, definitely go check it out. It's live on Spotify. You know, I think it might be on Apple Music by this point. I don't know why it wouldn't be. If that's your thing, go ahead on over there. Make up your own opinion. If you have listened to the album yet, let me know what you thought down in the comments. I'm trying to get this conversation going. I'm trying to see where the people are in terms of this Chance. I'm seeing heavily mixed reviews on the internet. All right, so I want to hear from y'all. Let's talk about it. So, hey, that's my take. Hey, if you've been rocking with me this long, thank you. And as always, peace.